Out of the gun. Touchdown, Trey Burton!
On yet another interception of Phillip Rivers.
Got to tell you, Phillip Rivers, if you look at the numbers, he is the most statistically accomplished quarterback to never win the Super Bowl. A ton of that has to do with talent. A ton of that has to do with longevity, being a part of that vaunted 2004 draft class. Tonight, the Colts, who have surprised some people, taking on the Tennessee Titans, who also have surprised some people. Mike Wells covers the Colts every day of the year for ESPN, and he joins us this morning on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Mike, simply put, 1 year, $25 million for Phillip Rivers. We're halfway through the one-year deal. From those you talk to in and around the organization, the return on investment has been?
Ooh, Zubin. Let's just say Phillip Rivers is a great quarterback if you're facing the New York Jets, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Detroit Lions. But if you face the Baltimore Ravens or the Chicago Bears, Phillip Rivers struggles. I mean, the numbers don't lie. I mean, against teams that are less than 500, he's got 8 touchdowns and just 2 interceptions. But against Chicago, Cleveland, and Baltimore, Rivers has only completed 59% of his passes, and he's thrown 3 interceptions with only 1 touchdown. So give Rivers a team, the Colts are going to be fine. But when you play a good defense, that's when you don't know what Phillip Rivers is going to show up on that game day.
Now, we thought that, this was going to be a match made in heaven. He was going to go back with his former offensive coordinator, Frank Wright, and all was going to be well in the world. We know that the Colts, have Super Bowl aspirations. They really bought in. They went in and they traded for DeForest Buckner, to get them over the edge. Justin Houston the year before. But are you saying that maybe the team may be better off with Jacoby Brissett at the behind center?
I mean, there's a reason why Jacoby Brissett is the backup quarterback. Jacoby Brissett had every opportunity to be the next franchise quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts after Andrew Luck retired last season. And Brissett started strong, but then he went downhill. I mean, the fact that the Colts had to go out and give a 38-year-old Phillip Rivers $25 million for 1 year lets you know that, okay, Jacoby Brissett is not the answer. I mean, Jacoby Brissett is a valuable backup quarterback, but to say he would be a starter, he should be starting right now. It's too early to tell because the Colts are 5-3. But now they're in a very gruesome stretch right now, Bart, playing Tennessee twice in the next 3 games, along with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Now, if the Colts, go downhill again, that's when you're going to start wondering, okay, Frank Reich, I know you're loyal to Phillip Rivers, but maybe it's time to look at Jacoby if Phillip Rivers goes and struggles in these next 3 games.
Mike, we haven't heard too much from T.Y. Hilton this year. What is he doing off of the field to help aid the offense?
Man, you think T.Y. Hilton, you think, okay, big plays. I mean, Bart, you know this very well. Yeah. T.Y. Hilton is a big play wide receiver. He's off to the slowest start of his 9-year NFL career. It doesn't help that he's a free agent this offseason. He's about to turn 31 years old this month, and I think that's an equation with Phillip Rivers. I mean, Phillip Rivers, as good as he is with underneath throws, T.Y. Hilton is a big play down the field guy, a guy who excels at going outside of the numbers. And that's where Phillip Rivers has struggled to get the ball to. Down the field, 140-yard play this year for the Colts, offensively through the air, and getting the ball to the outside. There's been times where you've seen the receivers break to the outside, and they're kind of waiting for the football still. And that just shows, even though the Colts are saying they believe Phillip Rivers has the same arm strength, you look at the film, and you can see that the same arm strength is not there. In order for Phillip Rivers to have success with T.Y. Hilton, they're going to have to get him some underneath stuff and let him use, yards after catch, because trying to go down the field just has not worked out for Hilton. And now he's, less than 300 yards receiving through 8 games this year. That's not T.Y. Hilton type numbers.
It's going to be a big game tonight. You got the 6-2 Titans and the 5-3 Colts, 1 game separating each from the other in the AFC South, sitting at 1-2 in the division. This is a big spot for Indy as they're the ones sitting at a game back. We'll watch it tonight on Fox with the kickoff at 8:20 Eastern as we kick off Week 10 of the NFL season. Mike, we'll look for your work on ESPN.com tonight. Thanks very much.
Take care, fellas.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin, presented by Progressive Insurance. All of our guests, including Paul Feinbaum, to talk a little college football at 7:15, appear on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Let's go from A to Z.
From Houston to Boston and everywhere in between. From A to Z.
And From A to Z is brought to you by Redbox. Redbox's new movies at the box and streaming on demand from the producers of Get Out and Us. Don't miss Antebellum, starring Janelle Monáe. Visit redbox.com for all the ways to watch. Our Redbox Smart Picks, of course, coming up tomorrow. The Masters begins today on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Coverage at 7:30 Eastern on our streaming service. Coverage on TV at 1 Eastern. Tiger Woods tees off at 7:55 a.m. Eastern, about 65 minutes from now. Michael Collins, ESPN golf reporter and former caddy, essentially says, year to year, the change for the defending champion of this tournament, yes, it is Tiger Woods. It's that long ago, about 500 days ago, could not be more different.
He is coming into this Masters in completely different form than how he came into the Masters in 2019. He came into the Masters in 2019 off a win at Zozo. This is a different Tiger Woods. Tiger right now is struggling with his short game and his putting. You can't be struggling with your putting here.
Jay, Tiger is looking to go back-to-back at the Masters for the second time. He did it in 01 and 02. He could do it here, and if he gets it done here, he would have 6 green jackets tying his boyhood idol, Jack Nicklaus.
Obviously, it'll take him into a different stratosphere as it relates to his legendary status, which is already legendary. I really look forward to how he opens up today. I mean, how he opens up on day one, see how the course is playing, how are the greens, what speed are they running at, and how he hits the ball off the tee are going to be imperative.
No doubt about it, especially because rain is in the forecast all day today, softening those greens and changing the course just a little bit. To the NBA, definitely want to get your thoughts on this. James Harden and Russell Westbrook, unsure of their future with the Rockets. We sort of hit that story yesterday. That was a big headline, but Shams Charania of The Athletic and Stadium taking it to the next level, reporting that Russell Westbrook now wants out of Houston, but James Harden remains committed to the team and is, quote, locked in for the season. Brian Windhorst answering the biggest question you're probably thinking.
From what I understand, neither James Harden or Russell Westbrook are on the trade market right now. I don't think Harden's going anywhere short term. Let's see how things go this next few days with Russell Westbrook.
Let's see how things go these next few days. Jay, what do you think?
Poor Stephen Silas. Welcome to your first head coaching experience, because that's not the only thing you're dealing with. Westbrook and Harden potentially won out. P.J. Tucker is irate over his contract. He feels like he deserves more. Eric Gordon, Daniel House, Austin Rivers, all dissatisfied with their roles. Former players describing Houston as problematic, and the season is described as a mess. This is what you're inheriting in your first year as a head coach.
Bart?
I mean, that's crazy, right? Well, you think if one has to go, it has to be Westbrook. That's Harden's team. He gives you the better option to win. You know, I think, we talk about that relationship. We think that they're friends. But, you can be friends and not be a great match on the court together. It clearly hasn't worked out. That, positionless basketball isn't the way to go.
We should also mention that somewhere, maybe across the river from where you're sitting, Mike D'Antoni is sitting there smiling this morning saying, hey, you know what? I extricated myself from this situation. Maybe he knew something we didn't.
And so is Daryl Morey, who actually, I'm sure, is trying to find some way right now to crunch the numbers and get James Harden to Philadelphia to play with Joel Embiid.
Rhonda in Tennessee, you're on ESPN Radio. Rhonda, sorry, we got about 20 seconds. Who wins the Super Bowl first, Kyler or Lamar?
Lamar. At some point, Kyler's going to have to be able to get away from the Myles Garrett and the defenses of Pittsburgh to even get to the playoffs, and he is not that guy. He can do all that scurrying out there in the West, but that's not going to work, and he's not even going to be able to see over the defenses at 5, 6, and 10.
Cute and short.
Cute and short.
Spoken like a true Ravens fan. I'm sure that was a Raven right there.
Hey, man, I can't say anything because I'm 6'2". In my world, I'm cute and short, too.
On the way, Lamar is yet to win that Super